Hello, everyone. Good everyone. Good My name is Rachel Emmanuel, and I welcome you to another edition of the Transformational Youth Leadership Workshop 2.0, powered by the Better Side Leadership Institute. And today is the day two of our program. Today is day two of our program, and I am happy to be here. Yesterday, we started off with our first speaker who thought about how to reposition from mediocre patterns and step up your game. Mr. Betel Oyemaichi, dealt with that topic extensively. So, without further ado, I would also want to welcome our next speaker for today. She will be speaking on doubts and to dominance and become an authority figure in your field. And our speaker is none other person but Miss Victoria Nnadi Chinaza. Joining us very soon, very very soon. So let's get a quick break.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Good evening. Please, if you can hear me, do let me know. And I'm so sorry I won't be able to turn on my video because of some personal reasons, so bear with me. So my name is Victoria Chinaza Nnadi, and I'm a book project consultant and a book editor. I'm so privileged to be your miss today to talk about a very important topic that has held a lot of us creatives in the backstage for quite a long time. It's such an honor to be here. Thank you so much, Mr. Nnadi, for this wonderful privilege to be here tonight. And I also want to appreciate you, the audience, for being here. It's such a great honor, and I don't take that for granted. So I'll be speaking on the topic. I'll be speaking on the topic from doubt to dominance and becoming an authority. From doubt to dominance and becoming an authority. You see, I always tell people that the story you believe will always determine the life you live. In 2005, a young man named Elon Musk sat before Sorry about that. I'm trying to tell you a story of a young man named Elon Musk. He sat before a panel of engineers and investors who doubted his ability to build a private space company. NASA had billions. He had ideas. When he launched the first Falcon 1 rocket, it exploded. The second one failed too. The third one barely scraped through. By the fourth launch, SpaceX succeeded. Today, SpaceX is the first private company to send astronauts to International Space Station. So why am I telling you this story? The fact is that Elon Musk went from ridicule to recognition. He went from doubt to dominance. And he did it not because he had all the answers, but because he refused to stay where doubt left him. So from doubt to dominance, for me to be able to break this topic bits, I would have to divide this into three segments. I'll have to divide it into three segments so that we'll get everything that I have to share. And I pray that time permits me to say everything I have to say, because this is a very crucial topic to us creatives on in any field, in any creative field we find ourselves. So I would love to say something about doubt. If I ask an average person, right, what doubt is, they will say things like, it's that moment when I'm no longer sure if I'm capable. They'll say doubt is that uncomfortable feeling that tells me maybe I'm not enough. Some other persons might say it's what makes me second guess my ideas, my skills, and even my dreams, right? And this is not this is absolutely not wrong, because doubt is deeply emotional. But here is the truth. Doubt is not a weakness, it is weight. It is a weight. It is the silent whisper that says, who are you to think you can lead, rise, and influence? It's the invisible barrier that stops you from stepping forward, even when the door is wide open. It is that inner voice that says, who are you to speak up? What, what if they laugh? What if you fail? What if you try and they still don't get it? You don't have a degree and you want to do this thing. You only have 200 followers on Instagram. This will not work now. You're not even good enough. Yes, doubt feels logical, but it's latter. It is the most sophisticated form of self-sabotage, because it wears the marks of caution, when in fact, it is fear in disguise. Let me tell you something. I don't know if you are following me. I can't see the comments here, but I hope I'm doing something. I'm speaking to you in one way or the other about doubt, about what doubt really is. Doubt doesn't always come from lack of skill or lack of opportunities. Sometimes it comes from your memory of failure, of past rejections. You applied for something, you did not get it, you're afraid to apply again. You failed at doing this thing. You don't want to try it again because of that thought you have. I failed. I don't want to do it again. I can't risk it. Your memory of small beginnings that made you shrink. So it is not like that you lack skills. No, you don't lack skills. You don't lack opportunities. It may be the memory of all of these things that is making you to doubt. But you must understand that if you allow doubt to lead, it will drive you away from your destiny. People like Steve Jobs, Ibukun, Miss Ibukun, and Cosmos Maduka, or even your neighbor down the street, who started with one sewing machine and now runs a fashion academy. No, they felt doubt. They felt doubt. All of these people, they had doubts. They felt doubt like every one of us, but they chose not to settle in it. I tell you, dominance begins when you stop letting doubt be your compass. Yes, dominance, it begins when you stop letting doubt be your compass. This moves us to segment 2. Um, I hope I am communicating. Okay, they are following via YouTube Live. All right, there's no problem. So the second segment is, now I want to bring you to the 3 phases of doubts, right? Some of us might not experience doubt the same way because there are different types of doubts. And I want you to, as we go through this section, I want you to do a mental mapping, know where you are so that you can be able to help yourself. Know the kind of doubt, the phase of doubt you are in, because when you don't know the source of a problem, you can't be able to solve it. You can't, when you don't know the source of your doubt, you can't be able to provide solution to gain dominance and thereby becoming an authority in your field. So now that we know what doubt it really is, let's now move deeper into the phases of doubt. Number one phase of doubt is the imposter syndrome. This is the phase that says you don't belong in this room. It's that inner accusation that says you are faking it. That if people really know you, they wouldn't follow you. Yes, some of us might be experiencing that. You feel, I don't know why, you are very good, but sometimes you just sit down. I think I'm faking it. Like, I'm not. Are you sure I'm really not, I'm really being real or something? I don't know why. At some point I also felt that I'm now questioning my ability. Are you sure I'm not faking this? But I've come to tell you that and ask you, if you feel you are faking it and you don't belong to that room, then who decided who deserves to be in the room? Who, who, who decided that? Sometimes the only thing separating the imposter syndrome, the imposter from the icon, is one choice, which is showing up anyways. The truth is, if I want to be very honest with you, nobody feels ready. Nobody just wakes up and start feeling like an authority. You have to grow into it. How do you do this? By showing up, by speaking up, and by standing firm. And this is the formula I am using to get to where I am and where I am headed. This is the formula. You don't grow, you don't just wake up one day and become, all these people you admire, they don't just wake up and become an authority. They grew into it by showing up, by speaking up, and by standing firm. So I want you to know that you are not faking it. You are becoming it. You are not faking it, and you are becoming it. Is your problem, is your doubt as a result of imposter syndrome? I hope I've been able to talk to you about this now. You are not faking it. You are becoming it. The second phase of doubt is the comparison complex. You look at others and you feel like you're late. Like you are not as brilliant, as polished, as followed like other people. But I want you to know that comparison is the thief of power. What you admire in others is only a mirror of possibility in you. Now, the danger is when that admiration turns into paralysis. So instead of comparing yourself with other people, You're not brilliant, you're not as polished. Oh, this person have 2,000, 20,000 followers, 50,000, 100,000. Instead of comparing yourself, you have to connect. Instead of envying, you have to learn. How did this person get to this place? You don't compare, because sometimes our time differs, time season differs. You don't know when that person started. And what if the person even started after you? It's possible that person have more followers than you. Okay, what did this person do differently? Instead of being, sit down and learn. Because someone somewhere is looking at you thinking, wow, I wish I could do what you are doing right now. That's the truth. You are busy admiring someone up there. Oh, I want to be like this person. Why there's someone also wanting to be like you? So I don't want you to feel like you are being stuck or something. The fact is, someone is dying to be like you. Someone is longing to have what you have. You are not late. Don't feel like you are late. You are not late. Whatever you have now, be satisfied with it and try to move ahead and get other things you need to get and continue your journey. Your journey is different, your timing is different, your seasons are different. In as much as you are not stagnant, you are moving. Even if it's slow, even if it's one step, you are doing something. You are not late. If this is your own type of doubt, I want you to kill it. You are not late. So the third phase of doubt is the perfection paralysis. This one actually says, don't start until it's perfect. Don't start. And because of that, many people never start. They keep waiting, telling themselves they need one more course, one more connection, one more opportunity, whereas in reality, you don't even need any other course. You don't need one more opportunity. You don't need one more connection. What have you been doing with the ones you have? Perfection paralysis. Authorities don't wait for perfect conditions. Those authorities those experts they don't wait for perfect conditions. They create consistent actions. So you don't need that one more course. That one that you already have. What have you done with it? That contact you collected from an event. That connection you connected from an event. What have you done? What have you done? Did it end by just collecting that contact? No, there's no perfect time. There's no perfect time. There's no perfect connection. Any connection can lead you to, can be the next open door to what you've been praying for. So you don't need one more course. You just need to know that there is no perfect time. There's no perfect condition. You need to be consistent in your action if you want to be an authority. I need you to understand that. You need to start where you are. You need to start rough, but all the same, you need to start. I wish I can see your comments right now. I really wish I can see the comments right now because I love seeing the comments. I don't know if it's possible to see your comments, but we'll move to the third segment. Please, is there a way I can see the comments? I really would love to read comments. Is there a way I can see their comments? I want to make this an interactive section. Okay, while I'm waiting for your answer, let me continue from where I stopped. So this moves us to the four strategic moves to get to dominance from doubt. I hope I've been able to pinpoint your doubt, no matter what it is. I hope I've been all the points I've mentioned, I've been able to touch something, open your eyes to the kind of doubts that have been limiting you from becoming an authority. So now that we have dealt with that, can we now have the moves, the strategic moves to move to dominance from that doubt? So the first move is decide. You need to decide to believe again. You need to decide to believe again. This is where it all starts, with a decision. Not to feel confident, but to believe again. This is where it starts, with a decision. It starts with a decision, not in a hype kind of way, not to fake it, not that fake it till you make it kind of thing, but in a decision to say, I am tired of playing small. I will no longer apologize for wanting more. Because you know what that belief does to you? Belief doesn't always show up with a fire. Sometimes it begins with a whisper, and that's enough. So say this to yourself: my doubt is not a prophecy. It's just a voice I choose not to obey anymore, because you have been obeying that voice, that doubt. You using it as your own situation. That doubt tells you you are not enough. You say yes, you believe it. So this is the time to tell your doubt, my doubt is not a prophecy. It's just a voice I choose not to obey anymore. You need to decide to believe again if you really want to get to dominance. That is the first step you ought to take. The second step you ought to take is you need to define your domain. You need to define your domain. You need to be clear. You need to have clarity as an authority. To become an authority, you need to be clear about your domain. You cannot dominate what you have not defined. Ask yourself, what do you carry that solve real problems? What skill or knowledge do you have that the market needs? If you cannot define it, if you cannot find clarity about what you really want to offer, then you are not ready to be an authority. Authorities solve real problems. Real problems. They don't create more problems than we already have. They don't get people confused. They bring clarity. So you need to define what you really want to do, what skill or knowledge you want to offer that the market needs. Some of you are fashion designers, but you are more than that. You are image consultants. Some of you are welders, but what you truly sell is structure. Some of you are hairstylists, but your real value is confidence creation. So define your work by the value it gives, not just by the task it performs. When you define your domain, you own your own lane. And when you own your lane, no one can compete with your grace. Define your domain. That moves me to the next point, the next move, the next strategic move from doubt to dominance, to becoming an authority. The third move is deliver value loudly. Be loud about the value that you bring to the table. Be loud about it. If you are not loud about it, someone less creative and excellent than you would do better than you, that know it so much. So if you are good but invisible, you are not yet an authority. You must show your work. Be proud of it. Market yourself shamelessly. Be shameless about it. In as much as you're not doing something bad, you are bringing real solutions to people. Why are you now afraid to talk about it? You're waiting, you're just scrolling through social media, doing nothing, reading other people's content, seeing how they are marketing themselves, and you sit down, you have in the morning till evening, you have not even done anything about your brand, and you want to become an authority. You are not ready. You need to show your work consistently. Be loud about it. When they share this, be loud about it. Be loud about what you do. Be loud about the excellence you bring to the table. Because yes, I get it. When you are doing something, some persons will say, you're bragging, you're trying to brag, you're doing this one, you should. No, it's not show off. Oh, it's not show off. It's social proof. Don't let them tell you what it is not. It's social proof, honestly. So when you show your work, you document your progress. Share your insights with people, your audience. Let your audience see your journey. Teach what you know. Show your progress. Share your testimonials. If David in the Bible never stepped in front of Goliath, no one would have known there was royalty in a shepherd boy. If David never stepped in front of Goliath, no one would have known there was royalty in a shepherd boy. You don't become dominant. You don't become dominant by being silent. You don't dominate that field, that creative space by being silent, by being silent on the value you bring to the table. People don't want to associate with someone that does not have anything to offer. And you have something to offer, you are keeping it to yourself. How would people know? So you don't become an authority, you don't become dominant by being silent. You dominate by showing results consistently on a steady. That is how you dominate. Show your workings, show your proofs. When people start seeing what you do, wow, they begin to call you an expert in this, an expert in that. They begin to see you like the go-to person. That's why a lot of persons get recommendations, this one, that. I saw this thing. They might not even really patronize you, but because they have seen your content over time, how you talk about what you do with so much confidence and so much poise and elegance and everything you can think of. They say anytime whatever you do is being mentioned somewhere, they will be proud to even mention your name, even if they have not encountered you on a personal level. Because why? You are consistently delivering value. You are showing forth your good work. Now, the next one, you need to develop consistently. Nothing replaces showing up daily. Absolutely nothing. Not connection, not even talent. Because authority is built when people trust your consistency. You have not met some persons. You see, there are some persons that they have not even met the persons patronizing them, that they have not even met the person even once. But because those persons are proving to be consistent over time, you see that even if they are miles, states away from each other, countries away from each other, they can still be able to trust this person because this person is consistent and he cannot trade The brand, it has been consistent in building over years because of this thing. You cannot trade it for anything. That is what it means to be an authority. So nothing replaces showing up, not connection, not your talent, because authority is built when people trust your consistency, even when no one claps, even when no one likes the post, even when you feel small, keep showing up. Because when people know you are reliable, they start to regard you as relevant. Something happened to me recently, and I know that it made me to really think deep today about the power of showing up consistently. Of late, I don't know if I've been shadow banned or something, but I discovered that my content has been, even if I'm in a 60-day real challenge, my personal challenge, and instead of me, I'm creating content consistently, and these people are shadow banning me. This is the time I'm supposed to even have more engagement, but I have decided to come likes, come no likes. The thing is, people are watching. People are watching, and because of this, something happened today. Because of a single, someone saw me. Someone just went through my, just sat, looked me on social media, and went through my post, and because of that, I got something that I've been praying for. She didn't even look at the number of likes. It's none of that. Number of likes is not the point. It's the value, is the feeling people have after connecting with what you share on social media, on your space. It's the feeling. There's this feeling of this person knows what he or she is doing. So that thing happened to me today, and I'm, wow, God, there's power in showing up. What if I've gotten discouraged and stopped even before now, self, maybe 2 years ago? A lot of persons that started with me, they have given up, they are doing something else. A lot of coaches, a lot of people. But you see, when you know where you're going to, when you know that, I want to really be an authority in this thing, I want to dominate this field, you will do all it takes that is right to get there, to keep showing up. I'll leave you by this, by saying there is a new kind of leader rising. Yes. Not the one with expensive suits, not the one with expensive suits, but the one with a clear vision. Not the one with big titles. Not the one with big titles, but the one solving real problems. A generation is rising, and I know you're part of it. The question now is, will you shrink in your doubt or stand in your dominance? It's a question that you really need to think through, because the real world is not waiting for perfect people. It's waiting for present ones, the ones that are present, that can show real value, that can show working, that can bring something to the table. So you need to show up, you need to speak up, you need to stand firm and become the world. You had potential. No, they will not remember that you have potential. The world will remember that you made impact. I hope with everything I've said that you've been able to see that doubt will not take you anywhere, but dominance will. The world will not remember you for your potential, but your impact. Thank you.
Bless you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I think it's. Does anybody have a question? Ah, okay. No question. Okay. I do have one question though. I have a question, ma'am. So I've been struggling with the imposter syndrome as well for a while. It's been it's been something that has been keeping me down for a very long time. And someone who has, yeah, I have a lot of skill, and then I just fight between what do I want to say that people have not heard before. How do I even want to start it? So I want to first find out if there is a clarity section that we can, if you have anything related to how we can handle that imposter, if you have a course or you offer a clarity session for people like me who face this issue. Hello, please can you hear me? Can anybody hear me, please? Or am I doing? I believe that anybody that wants to come for a clarity session should contact you via Facebook, or you need to go through Mr. Joseph for that. Oh, okay, she went off. Okay, all right then. Since we have come to a close for today's session, I'd all just not to fail joining tomorrow's session. We are starting very early. Okay, we are starting really early. And we are going to have our speaker who is going to speak on mental models, how to think, decide, and lead like the most respected visionary leaders. So, for those of us in the group, okay, yeah. So we are having this session by 7:30 p.m. with our speaker from Kenya. We are not starting by 8 p.m. Please let's take note. We are starting by 7:30 p.m. so that speaker will not, the time difference here in Nigeria and Kenya is really long. So 7:30 p.m. here in Nigeria would be 9:30 p.m. over there. So we're going to start early enough, and he'll be speaking on meta models, how to think, decide, and lead like the most respected visionary leaders by Mr. Umru Gindiji. Yes, Mr. Umru Gindiji. Thank you very much for joining today's session. I really hope to see all of us as well tomorrow by 7:30 p.m. Have a wonderful night rest.